everybody.
Hi, am I everybody? That's so sweet of you.
You are.
Hey, I'm every woman.
I'm every woman.
No, you're a co-host of the show, Explorigonians.
I am. I'm Katie.
I'm Jordan.
And we are
a fun married couple. We're fun.
We are so fun. And
we're from Oregon, and we travel around, try to get into shenanigans. I seem to court it, but this week we're going to a place where no crazy shenanigans have happened for me.
Well, just enough. Just shenanigan light. And it's a place that's an hour and a half from our hometown.
And so we're talking about Beaverton, Oregon, which is outside the Portland metro. It's in the Portland metro area.
And maybe it wasn't the coolest place growing up, but now it's extra cool.
It's the HOTest place.
It's HOTT.
Wow, just all about
I don't
spelling.
know. Spelling and singing. Okay,
rocking some Chapel Run.
This episode, we're talking about a lot.
We're talking about a beloved bakery that maybe had a Ratatouille incident.
Talk about Chuck E. Cheese.
Which maybe was not the Ratatouille incident that I'm talking about.
Talk a little bit about a buffet, which I don't know.
We throw some shade at one of the world's largest corporations.
I mean, and a lot more.
Ooh, we also talk about one of the most pivotal points in our relationship. Oh.
Okay, no spoilers.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks for being here, explorers, on this week's episode of Explorigonians.
Explorigonians.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Testing. Apples.
Apples, 2 apples, the iconic little children's game.
Why would you say iconic little children's game? Adults can play that if they want to be clean.
Okay, well, I literally thought of I don't know, washing your body with soap, if you want to be clean. I didn't ever play apples to apples before you, so I did play it as an adult.
I played it as a teenager. So
I think I thought it was an adult game until your mom decided it sucks, and now we have to play Cards Against Humanity, which I don't want to play. I don't want to play with them. I don't want to play with the kids.
Yeah, I'm gonna say playing adult board card games in the around kids 10 and under is a really disturbing thing. And my family did try to play apples to apples, which is already super kid friendly, but they tried to play apples to apples junior with one of my cousins, and I think we found out he had a hard time reading.
Well,
I can't read it!
I think we should move on.
Why?
We got other things to talk about.
Could you possibly be referring to one of the greatest cities in Oregon?
Yes, which you told me that they wanted to be not the biggest.
You can't be the biggest in Oregon.
The second biggest.
They
They tried to be the second biggest, but they're not.
They went for number 2, but they fell. They fell short.
And we are, of course, talking about
Beaverton, Oregon. Well, Beaverton, Oregon. So in 2004, Beaverton, Oregon, which is a part of the greater Portland metro area, enacted some sort of citywide plan to grow the city of Beaverton to be the second largest city in Oregon. Portland, which it literally butts up against, is the largest by a significant margin. So going for a second, I don't even know where they were aiming for that. Were they going population? Were they going size? Were they going to eat Aloha? Were they going to go for conquer Tualatin and Tigard?
But I guess it makes sense to me because Beaverton, as you said, is so close to Portland, and it was oh, we're gonna get all the overflow, or for people that don't want to be in the big city, we got the next best thing, and maybe that's why they made Beaverton so cool. It's so cool now.
So you think those people are responsible for the rapid, cool development of the city of Beaverton?
Yeah, and they have increased their population a decent amount.
Especially since the 1960s, because in the 1960s, the population of Beaverton was only 6,000, but it popped to
6,000. That's the size of, right.
That's a Tillamook.
Yeah, that's so small. That's so small. Okay, anyway.
In the 90s, it popped up to over 50,000, and they credit that between the 60s and the 90s, the rapid development and the arrival of the Silicon Forest, as they call it, the people. I did not think the Silicon Forest was a word that we were using in the 60s to describe Beaverton. I don't know if we're retroactively calling it that, but I definitely thought that was like a 90s, like Silicon blank was like a 90s and afterwards term.
I mean, I definitely feel like we learned it later. I mean, I was like, what's the Silicon Valley?
Silicone. So the arrival of the company Tektronix, which I'm going to plead ignorance. I have no idea what Tektronix does. I've just seen their signs several times in Beaverton.
Every time you say it, the visual that comes up for me is
Building mech suits.
No, what's the game where you put the shapes?
Tetris?
Tetris.
Tetris?
Every time you say Tektronix, I just visualize Tetris.
You just want to play a Russian video game? Are you a spy?
Let's move on.
I don't even know what the Tetris theme song is an iconic score, and I don't know if it's like I don't know how it goes.
Is it? Well, if it's so iconic. This does not sound familiar.
Anyway, so the population grew from over 50,000 in the 90s, and now they've doubled that between the 90s and 2025. So what's that, like 5-6 years?
Totally.
So it's over 98,000, probably close to 100. Who knows, like what we're counting.
Right.
I have a bone to pick with the geographical shape and the city boundaries of what is considered Beaverton.
You're gonna pick it with they.
I'm gonna pick it with you. We're gonna fight this out.
You and I are gonna pick it. Okay.
Yeah.
I did it. I did it.
Thank you. Well, that was very rude of you.
And I wanted it to be as random and sporadic as possible.
Okay, you looked at the boundaries of what Beaverton is. Were you surprised by where it was?
Yes, I was surprised. It's like, because there is like a downtown, or like a centralized area of Beaverton. You're like, okay, this is Beaverton. But then, there's like this major freeway that's nearby, and it's like 217. You're like, oh, you just pull over, and you're like, oh, you're in Beaverton. I feel like a lot of places are Beaverton. And then you're driving around, and then we're always seeing these like signs that talk about they're welcoming you to Beaverton.
Always. You could be on the same street for a few miles, and it's like, welcome to Beaverton. Welcome to Beaverton. It's like, when did I leave? Like, how did I leave Beaverton and come back? Like, it's very confusing.
So, I mean, it is like a very jaggedy kind of
jaggedy
map.
I mean, if you look it up in Google Maps, hey, Google.
Hey, no free pub, I heard.
Where's my cash, Google? I think every time you say the word Google, you get a nickel. So we're up to what?
That goes for everyone.
Yeah, so start saying it, because Santa's always watching. When I Googled what Beaverton was, and so for the most part, Highway 26. Yes.
I was just saying,
Lord.
You Googled what Beaverton was. Just what is.
I needed another nickel.
Okay, let's hear it.
So the boundaries seem to be like south of Highway 26, which for the most part goes across like the northern-ish part of the state of Oregon. And then it's like bisected by Highway 217, which is a north-south highway that cuts through. It kind of creates a boundary between Beaverton, Tigard, Portland. But Tiger's more south. Anyway.
Well, I mean, if we really done our research, we would have known when 217 came to town, because it wasn't always there. Beaverton was there before.
Well, you were born in the late 80s, so I'm going to say 85. But that's true, like knowing like where it is, and knowing, I think that's a really good point about the history of like the freeway and highway system in this country, and how freeways were intentionally placed first to, thwart certain populations.
Right, and we're gonna separate the towns, the wrong side of the railroad tracks, that kind of thing, and yeah, it ruined families, neighborhoods, and created some systemic problems, but it was intentional.
And obviously this isn't about Beaverton necessarily, but the work that Portland is attempting to do with the redeveloping the Albina district over in northeastern Portland is really special, that they're attempting to do that, because that literally intentionally went through Black communities.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if 217 did that.
Right.
I doubt it with Beaverton, because or maybe in the 40s there was some charter, and it was a part of Cedar Hills, which Cedar Hills is frustrating because it is a part of Beaverton proper. But when I Googled in Google Maps
There's
Beaverton,
another nickel.
There's 2 nickels. So Cedar Hills was not a part of the boundary, and I was like, what? But it's not a city. But then it had some listing. It was like a census designated area, or some highfalutin word. So it's Beaverton, but not.
They're Beaverton, but they're doing their own thing. Okay.
Anyway, on the city of Beaverton's
I mean,
website,
granted, if you and I are driving there, we don't say we're going to Beaverton. We say we're going to Cedar Hills. So
I know, isn't that so weird though? I mean,
they did that to us. They've trained us.
Hey, good job branding. So on the Cedar of City Hills, on the City of Beaverton website, they had some thing talking about some neighborhood charter that Cedar Hills had, which described only persons of the Caucasian race could live within Cedar Hills. I'm assuming there was some of that in other communities also in the Beaverton area. But then it was, legally unenforceable since 1948. But the city of Beaverton made sure to mention that this language is still used to this day. Like, they haven't erased it in some of these. But I don't know how outdated the city of Beaverton, description was. But the fact it was on, the city's website admitting that some of this language is still in Beaverton's, neighborhood descriptions is disturbing.
It is disturbing. And it's like, what is the reason to leave that there? Is it because it's like, oh, it's history and we're going to leave it there? But it's like, if you could just get rid of it and you can document it, yeah, this is a thing that happened. This is a part of a part of history, but
it's a weird thing to keep in.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like maybe we should switch it up, Beaverton.
Well, and obviously things are so slow moving. I mean, the state of Oregon Constitution legally stated that we were a white-only state, and it took until the year 2000 for our state government to be like, well, we should probably finally get rid of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous. So maybe one day we'll figure it out. As you said, we're a little slow around here.
But since we're on the topic, I did find it interesting on the City of Beaverton website, just discussing kind of the history of Beaverton. They kind of broke it down into 11 different chapters. And they did talk about, different inequities that Beaverton was responsible for. And then one of it was they were discussing how the KKK was present in Beaverton in the 1920s, which, yikes. But it also was weird because the KKK was also present in Tillamook, our hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And so because there wasn't a ton of non-white people around, they focused that energy, that negative energy, on Catholics.
How does that make you feel, being a raised Catholic?
Well, I think at this point, when I was raised as Catholic, that religion had just assimilated itself so much that it's oh, that's, why would anyone ever discriminate against a Catholic? So that was a strange thing to be aware of. And it did kind of blow my mind learning about that, from my grandparents.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just like a organized hate group, but just any group, it's community, right? And you're like, oh yeah, what's that quote you told me? It's the enemy of my
enemy is my friend.
There we go. Well, anyway. Yeah, so the KKK was in Beaverton. And
in the 1920s.
Hating on the Catholics. Okay, but now...
I'm assuming they're gone.
Well, right. Okay.
Okay, so...
Let's move on.
So the other thing in this, history of Beaverton thing, it was kind of all over the place. And there was, an overemphasis on younger people, people who are in their 20s or Gen Z, and I don't know who was responsible for it, but a lot of they were talking about environmental justice, and they were discussing people who were born in 2001, which I was that is a crazy year to see someone who's actively doing work. But obviously, that's our own ageism or my own ageism coming into play. But it's cool that they are giving these people a shout out.
And maybe it's to highlight that Beaverton isn't just for old people, that they have young people and young energy there. And yeah, I mean, they're...
Well, that's true.
So...
Not enough energy to propel them to the second largest city, though. They're still number 6.
Ooh.
Poor Beaverton. Okay, so the boundaries of Beaverton, obviously we've discussed, it's a little wonky. It's a little interesting. They have areas that are they're actually within Beaverton. It's kind of like those countries that are kind of within a country. You're like, how'd you get there?
Right.
But they're still kind of Beaverton.
Okay, well, I think we've talked enough about the boundaries.
The boundaries.
Okay, so Beaverton is...
It's also where people from Tillamook, our little podunk part of the world, when they say they're going to Portland, they're going to go to Beaverton. They're probably not going to go much further than Beaverton.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like that's kind of where we're at.
It's like the layman's terms, like, oh, it's too complicated to say I'm going to Hillsborough or Beaverton or Tigard. I'll say Portland.
Well, I thought I was going to Portland as a kid, even though I had several cousins. I had many cousins.
Many?
I had many cousins.
What happened to them?
Well, I guess a family, aunt and uncle and cousins lived in Beaverton, and some others lived in Portland. But I feel like when I was a kid, you'd be like, oh, I'm going to, my cousin lives in Portland. Be like, oh, does she? Be like, well, no, Beaverton. But so I went to Beaverton a decent amount as a kid, but I feel like I wasn't hanging out in the downtown. We were like up on the hill.
See, I wasn't. Well, you were up in the mountain.
I was up in the mountains.
The mountains of Beaverton. Oh, where the money was.
Not my money.
It's my money and I need it now. I didn't even recognize like downtown Beaverton as being a thing until we were adults, and it was like, oh, Beaverton does kind of have this like little downtown area. It's also the outskirts of the downtown houses one of your favorite places.
Yeah.
That Dairy Queen you talk about.
I feel like the only reason I was talking about it is because I remember, I feel like the one time maybe I went to the downtown visiting these cousins, is I would see the Dairy Queen. So I feel like it's been there for a long time. You're like, oh, it's like withstood the test of time. And yeah, where there's rapid development happening, you're like, wow, that Dairy Queen's still there.
standing strong.
Clearly the locals are into it.
It's so interesting because like it's just right off Farmington, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is like a major busy
technically
road.
A highway.
Oh, well, okay, excuse me.
Because it's like 4 lanes and it's like bisecting part of the downtown portion of Beaverton. So I feel like
that's true.
Downtown Beaverton needs a sky bridge or a tunnel.
Yeah, because they're like it is pedestrian friendly, but right when you do have to cross Farmington, which is definitely very active. So yeah, Skybridge, that sounds nice.
Well, it is interesting. Well, I mean, if they want to get to number 2, I think Skybridge is going to help. So
that's true.
So downtown Beaverton, if we're talking about it, and we're talking about the new development that's happening. So Farmington, I would say like 80% of like what like the cool hip things that are popping off in Beaverton are like south of Farmington, but there are still like little businesses that are holding on north of Farmington. So I mean, in order to like connect those two sections to really make it feel like one coherent thing, I do think they need to have a better option for like flow and traffic, foot traffic back and forth.
Isn't there a nice park over there that we went to?
Who knows?
Okay, I mean we've done some cool things in Beaverton,
like
you guys.
Central Park.
Yeah, just like Central Park, very similar.
So north of Farmington in downtown Beaverton, there are some of our favorite like ma and pa like little tiny shops. And so it's like this stretch of Beaverton called, it's like Broadway, but it is not like a Broadway that you would associate with a city. Because when I think of Broadways, I'm like, there's like a lot of like industry that happened on Broadway, or like there's theaters and all these things.
Hey, well, maybe there was.
Maybe.
Back when there was, 5,000 people living in Beaverton.
6,000.
Back when there were 6,000 people living in Beaverton.
That implies that there was never less than 6,000 people living in Beaverton.
There wasn't.
Oh.
So there's this little strip of a street, and
there's like a car dealership, Also, there's a ton of car dealerships in that area. Like,
okay, maybe too many. That's true. There's definitely active with the dealerships, but this street, I think, has a bunch of little cute shops, and there is this fun restaurant that we stumbled upon called Family Cafe.
Which we will give free pub for Family Cafe. We're not going to get anything out of this except for just spreading that joy.
Spreading the love.
It is a very cozy cafe. It's definitely living up to the cafe name.
Yes, it is tiny but mighty. And I do think that there's outside seating. We've never experienced that.
I will say Broadway in downtown Beaverton, quite walkable. Very nice sidewalks.
Oh, true.
But there's also it's like next to like taverns, and the tavern is like weird looking. I don't really know if it's a tavern.
We gotta go. Obviously, we gotta go hang
out on Broadway. On Broadway. So yeah, Family Cafe, Iraqi family, I believe.
I think so too. And so we were drawn in because it was very cute, and I feel like there's like seating in the window, get your little like pillows
in a nook.
Yes, they offer Turkish coffee, like legit, the legit Turkish coffee.
They have a really cool little setup where they, it's like they're cooking in the sand.
Yeah, it's I don't understand. It's like a sand pit.
It's delicious. But they also decorate for the holidays, which is very cute.
I mean, I think a lot of small businesses decorate for the holidays, but we were charmed.
Food is good. Service is great. They're really friendly. You had an Iraqi chai that you loved.
I also had some like bread that was in the shape of a pumpkin. It was very like fall harvest themed.
I mean, we did just stumble upon that picture of that bread, and the stem, a little questionable looking.
You know,
It's a little phallic.
You know what? I don't know. Everyone's a critic. You know, it was the thought. I appreciate that they attempted to make a gourd.
Tell that to your friend Jord.
All right, I think let's move on.
Well, also they also have like TVs playing some sort of Middle Eastern television programs.
your music videos, it's part of the aesthetic.
It's great.
Yeah, it is great.
There's also a tea room. I'm not going to name names.
Oh my
There's
God.
a tea room. Service is fine. The afternoon tea was good. The decor, I believe, is like really the selling point. Like
The decor is impressive. I think that was the impressive part about that shop.
and I'm a huge nerd, so it is like kind of steampunk, kind of Victorian in like a section.
Are you a huge nerd?
This was
I mean,
something
prove
that
it. I don't
blew
know.
Katie's mind when we first started dating. I was like, man, it's like crazy that you'd want to date me, because I'm a huge nerd. And your response was,
Kind of like what it is right now, like disbelief.
you've never saw me, thought of me, interacted with me, and thought, this guy, not a nerd.
You know, I just don't profile others.
I'm a guy who wears glasses.
Right. So instantly I knew.
I read books. I'm literate. So we go to this tea place, which it has references to things like Jules Verne. Nerdy reference.
Ooh, I don't get that.
Well, Katie is illiterate, but we love her.
So anyway,
You took the ugliest picture. One of the like top 5 ugliest pictures. I'm thinking of like a few other ugly pictures of me. It's one of the ugliest pictures you've ever taken of me.
I mean, it's heinous.
My hair doesn't look great now, but like I didn't have like proper product in. I have like curly hair, and I didn't know I had curly hair until the pandemic, and someone cutting your hair was like, hey,
Yeah, if you want to come back, it was like, I love cutting like curly hairs. And we're like, who are you talking about?
If we find anybody, we'll let them know.
Yeah.
so she's like, oh, you're just not treating it properly. And I'm like, you mean you're not supposed to aggressively shampoo and condition your hair every single day? I mean, I looked like Toad from Super Mario Brothers.
Nerdy reference.
Also because my hair was shock white with like red dots on it.
Okay, let's go back to the tea room.
Mario!
Okay.
We had crazy, not great service. And so maybe it was that. And
Okay,
you
not
were like,
crazy, not
it was
great.
crazy. So I think maybe you were in a state of fright.
Funky fright. Yeah, well, I think when things get weird, I want to do bits to like revel in it almost.
Oh, I don't think this was a bit.
No, the picture wasn't a bit.
So,
I ate a scone that had jam on it,
yes.
or some sort of berry that wasn't quite mushed all the way.
We were having tea, so you had your little teacup, and I went to take your picture because you were looking so cute, and you gave me a big smile.
I think I was also I was overacting, giving you this smile. I was like, meh. I was hamming it up, which I think makes the picture worse because I was hamming it up.
I think that's what you think was happening in that picture.
Well, what happened? So what
I
made
think
it?
Jordan's tried to like dissect this photo
Yeah.
and be like, what's happening? And like, what happened to me? Anyway, it was just a moment in time. Jordan smiles. He has some berry or something in his teeth
Some blackberries stuck.
on your tooth, which makes him look like he's missing a tooth.
Which, if that's you, that's great. Rock that aesthetic.
That's okay. It was surprising to us all.
Yeah. Well, and like the lighting was bad, so it really looked like I was missing a tooth, and my hair was crazy, and my eye was kind of glazed in the eyes.
So if anybody really wants to see that picture, let us know.
I will lament a recent loss, and which was, it impacted me directly because I wanted to participate in something they do. Recently, the second location or whatever of Pip's Donuts and Chai closed, which was a super cute shop in downtown Beaverton.
They really did a lot of work. Like I feel like there was a lot of mosaic tile that it was just cute. Yeah, they put a lot of effort and energy into this shop in downtown, and which was way more convenient for us to go.
Because it takes a lot longer to drive into the area of Portland that they were in.
Yeah.
Which, real Portland, not Beaverton, Portland.
True.
So Pip's Original Donuts and Chai on your birthday, it used to be like the week of your birthday. You could go in, get a free dozen donuts, which are delicious.
Right. They were a little more lenient with the birthday gift.
But then people started to abuse it pretty heavily, I imagine, and probably weren't very kind about abusing it. Which sucks to take advantage of a business that way. Doing such a nice thing for people. Those donuts are so good.
Mm-hmm.
So on my birthday, a couple months ago, my plan was to go to Pip's, and lo and behold, they closed a couple months before, and I was very sad
Yep. So we roll into
because
Beaverton.
we've gone to for your birthday twice.
I know.
Jordan never
Gets any donuts on his birthday.
Okay. Well, don't feel too sorry for him. I do share.
You do, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, so the downtown. Well, across the street.
Wait, are we crossing into like the downtown proper, or are we still up like in the uptown downtown?
No, we are in the same. We're still on
Broadway.
I'm just gonna do like a throwback business
Okay.
thing.
Is it Old Country Buffet where my family and I would go to all the time?
It's not, but it's pretty close. It's not close. I was going to talk about, we can come back to your little buffet thing.
Okay.
But we're going to highlight Beaverton Bakery, which is no longer there. But I feel like growing up, my mom would always talk about it, it was like, oh my God, it's so amazing, so delicious, blah, blah, blah.
But
So
would you go?
I don't know. I think I did as a kid. But as I got older, I don't remember, because apparently it closed in 2018.
Sad.
So yeah, I was checking it out on Wikipedia, and it was like talking about how amazing it was. But apparently, yeah, it was open for 93 years.
Wow, they didn't even make it to 100?
I know.
That is kind of sad.
Okay, but then when I was reading about it, it was like, the bakery occupied a 3-building site on Broadway in downtown Beaverton.
Classic.
And that it's like the location can be traced back to 1887, when like Beaverton's first doctor maybe built the building, and it was like his home.
By himself? With his bare hands?
Yeah, I'm sure.
He was a doctor and an engineer and an architect.
Anyway, and then they also added a pharmacy, but blah, blah, blah. Then
you want like a donut with like some crushed aspirin on top of it?
Sick.
That sounds like a bad voodoo donut.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, they could already have that.
I'm just naming them all. Hey, I'll take the
Stop talking about
over
Portland. Well, I guess it's also in so many other cities now.
I know. I was actually talking about Denver's voodoo donut.
Wow.
Yeah, you want to talk about Salt and Straw next? What other businesses sold their soul to the damn devil?
I think there's a lot. Okay. I mean, this isn't like that crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
But Robert F. Kennedy
Bobby
visited the bakery in 1968. Went to
Man.
Beaverton, Oregon. I don't know if I should end it with the sad ending.
Well, you said why it closed, so why did it close?
Well, I did not say why it closed.
Hey, why did it close?
So apparently, in 2017, the bakery closed for 4 days due to a rat infestation.
Oh,
Yeah, in the building that was
4 days.
Yeah, it was discovered by the health inspectors, and so maybe
wait, so they had a Ratatouille situation.
that's what it sounded like.
Is that who was baking the donuts?
Ugh. So I don't know. Maybe it was like pretty. It must have been pretty bad for it to close for 4 days. So I don't know that was the direct reason it closed, but then it closed like a year later. But they were just talking about like just the building was in such.
Yeah, of course,
They
they lost
shape.
their workforce of all those rats. They put those rats out of business. They couldn't make donuts. They were probably really good pastry chefs too. Rats are the culinary geniuses of our culture.
I know we need to stop being down on the rats.
I know, that's who made our dinner tonight.
Well, you like rats in Beaverton.
I do like rats in Beaverton because, as we've discussed, Highway 217 there's a section of it that like goes over Beaverton. It goes over like part of like not the downtown, but kind of like a commercial area. And so you are like high above, like it's very strange. You kind of
Yeah, you're seeing the city lights.
it's like a bypass. So
Right.
you're bypassing the city.
Mhm.
But also you feel like a king. You're like, oh wow, and look at all the peasants, the ants at work down there.
See, I never thought that. I was just like, oh, look at, like, I can see everything from up here.
I mean, I never actually thought of
I
it.
don't
Like,
know,
I was
I
like
think,
lording over them.
It
It
sounds
also,
like it.
it also because we just utilized like the highways. Like, I didn't feel like I knew Beaverton or I'd really ever gone to Beaverton. So I feel like when I finally went into like the city areas, I was like, this is kind of crazy. It's really condensed and the roads are kind of packed. There's a lot of businesses close. Like I could
There's
feel
more
like,
than 6,000 people here.
I could hear like the banjos following me. Like it definitely felt like dangerous territory if we got off the highway as a kid.
Do those banjos still follow you?
Yeah, but it's played by Steve Martin now.
Okay. All right.
So we would go,
lording over.
Speaking of rats, so we would use Highway 217 to go to Chuck E. Cheese, Katie.
I have no relationship and have never been.
And that has impacted your adulthood and your development as a human being significantly.
I mean, this is a national chain, right?
Oh, yes. I mean, it is not special to Oregon. Also, shout out to John Oliver, who had a really great episode on Chuck E. Cheese, which I think kind of blew your mind. Chuck E. Cheese is like all the worst parts of Disneyland and the Tillamook County Fair wrapped into one.
Wow.
It's like you got terrible mascots. I remember talking to Chuck E. Cheese once because I believed he was real. Because he's like the big hairy mascot. He's
there all the time?
Well, sometimes. I don't know his schedule. He's an important guy. He's, he does a half shift at Chuck E. Cheese, and then he goes to the Beaverton Bakery for his second half of his shift. Can you imagine? Turn on the lights, there's Chuck E. Cheese himself, like making a cinnamon knot.
Wow.
So.
Okay, but like their thing is like pizza, right?
Well,
or
you could call it pizza. I think the pizza that we had at like elementary school was better than what Chuck E. Cheese was shelling out. Anyway,
okay.
I'm talking to Chuck E. Cheese himself. I'm a very excited kid. I believed in all the magic in the world. Like you told it to me, I was game. I was like, yes, yeah, we're in for it. I'm along for the ride. In 6th grade. We were at outdoor school. They used to do like a newsletter every day, and they'd pass it out.
Not everybody knows what outdoor school is.
Anyway, get on board. Get on my level.
Okay.
Outdoor school, all the public school kids, a lot of them in Oregon, go and live out in the woods for a week with a high school counselor who's poorly trained to take care of you for that week.
All right, let's move on. So you're at outdoor school.
We get a little pamphlet, and it's a newsletter about like the happenings of the day. I'm reading it, still enthralled with the wonders of the world. I read in there about how there's like magical creatures were spotted in the forest, and I make eye contact across the room with my friend, assuming he's also actively reading this newsletter, which he wasn't. But I just looked at him and I just went, Digimon are real.
Woo!
Yeah, I wonder why kids made fun of me.
Oh, you know what?
Anyway, Chuck E. Cheese is real. What was it?
I feel like I also am a believer. And so I think that's probably what the attraction is. It's like you're a believer and we're like, hey, yeah, Digimon.
You don't even know what Digimon are.
They're
but
real.
You know that they are the champions.
But I believe it because I want to believe.
Do you believe?
Okay, I want to believe that you have something else to say about Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm talking to Chuck E. Cheese. It is him. Like, we're having a really nice conversation. He's not contributing much. It's just me. He's like going...
Like he doesn't talk, right?
No, he doesn't. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, we're really connecting right now, Chuck.
Okay. All right.
I notice he's got a big old piece of Scotch tape across the bottom of his nose.
Uh-oh.
And I went up to my mom. I was like, wait, so is Chuck E. Cheese, like, not real? Is he, I mean, but also, the 90s Chuck E. Cheese mascot was a little frightening. Definitely, like, dead in the eyes, like doll's eyes kind of thing. It's like, oh, there's nothing back there.
Wow.
So
Scotch tape. Did she have much of a response?
No. But I think I called him out on it. Like, I went back, I was like, what's that tape on your nose? And he definitely, like, rubbed his nose and kind of like, he was kind of like the possum scene in a Goofy movie. He's like, and he ran away. Anyway, my soul died that day.
Okay, Beaverton.
So that's my rat experience. But you said we would promise that we'd go back to the old country buffet.
We would. We are. We're here. So after Chuck E. Cheese, did you have room in your belly to go to the country buffet?
So we wouldn't go to Chuck E. Cheese that often. Like, we would go, I remember going one year for like my 9th birthday party, and then we went and saw Tarzan in theaters. Hey. Dude, and Phil Collins, he went to town. So that was my Chuck E. Cheese experience. Didn't do a ton of Chuck E. Cheese, okay? But we did do a ton of Old Country Buffet. Like anytime we'd like run errands or go visit like family out there, my dad specifically was like, if there's a buffet, he will go. So there was a buffet chain in Beaverton.
Always in Beaverton.
So that's what I associate Beaverton with, is like Chuck E. Cheese and Old Country Buffet, which probably isn't what a lot of people associate with Beaverton. But
So you associate Beaverton with a tummy ache.
Sure do. I mean, my dad, he would just go to town. I mean, plate after plate after plate. He was like a cartoon character.
I mean, your dad's hardcore in that way.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
He puts it away. I don't know where. So, right. He does have a gut on him. So, surprise, surprise, it's closed. It closed a long time ago. It's shuttered. I don't think anything's in it, but it's just off Hull Boulevard, which is one of the main thoroughfares of Beaverton. So, that's my relationship.
Oh, buffets. Well, when I think of Beaverton, I like one of my earliest memories of like being out on the town with my cousin.
You'd get off the highways and go into Beaverton itself.
You know, it was, I think it was on the other side. It was like probably closer to Chuck E. Cheese was on that side of the road, but you know, we're still in Beaverton somehow.
That one gets weird because then you're like, oh, it's kind of Portland then. Like Raleigh Hills. Like I think Raleigh Hills is Portland, but it's...
We weren't there. It was before there.
Okay.
So I'm going to stand by it.
Were you at Jesuit High School?
No. But like in that vicinity.
Okay.
Anyway, it was a shop that sold bubble tea. And I was like, what's that? I mean, I'd never heard of that. And my cousin was very excited about it. And I just feel like it was one of my first times being exposed to like, I don't know, it's like Asian food and just cuisine. Because there was also like a Asian market that was closed. But yeah, bubble tea, which now, you know, the cool kids call boba tea. And I was like, is this different? And the internet tells me it's the same.
Did you Google that?
Why you got to talk about Google?
We got 2 more nickels.
Well, and supposedly it originated in Taiwan.
Ooh, very good.
But yeah, boba tea. It's crazy with like the tapioca balls and like giant straw. And I just feel like it was...
The straw's too big.
It probably is a little large. Anyway,
but you feel like
it was fun. It was a fun mouth experience.
Oh, I just love the mouthfeel. Tapioca balls do not do it for me. Like, I remember drinking my first bubble boba, and they just like it was like being shot out of an Uzi. Like, I hit a vein of boba, and in my mouth, it was just like the ratio of liquid to boba was so off. It was just like, it was a mess.
I wonder if you had tried it when you were a teenager, if you would feel differently about it.
Instead of like as a bitter, cynical 20-year-old.
Yeah.
I was in college.
I'm just saying, like, you know, because I tried it. I don't even know if I was a teenager. It could have been before. Who knows?
I just don't like big straws. You know, I want a little bit. I got a little mouth.
I would say most people don't like it because of like the texture of the tapioca. But for you, it's interesting that it's just about the straw.
Yeah, I don't want to drink it so fast. I don't know.
That's fair. All right. Anyway, you don't have to. We don't boba.
What I'm hearing is that you kind of associate Beaverton with like kind of breaking you out of, you know, a stereotypical like American cuisine. Yeah, and even breaking out of like Mexican cuisine, which is probably the closest that like Tillamook kind of had, and like actually being able to see like cuisine and culture, because Beaverton is good for that. Yeah,
there's definitely like a nice mix of food that is offered, and I think a way to experience culture or other cultures is through cuisine and through different foods. And so that was something that I experienced as a young person.
I mean, literally my favorite ramen place in the world is off Hull Boulevard, kind of at an intersection of Beaverton and Tigard, but it is still Beaverton. So I'm going to give him a shout out. Fudayama. It's just in a, you know, your classic suburb strip mall.
Yeah, it's pretty unassuming on the outside, I think.
But man, it is legit. And this is from 2 people who have gone to Japan and have eaten in ramen restaurants. I mean, every time you go in, like there's more and more, like the decor in there and like just the swag that they have just gets more and more ridiculous. Most recently, they've plugged in an old CRT TV and a Super Famicom computer, which was the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo. And I'm going to say superior controller. It had 4 different colors versus 2 shades of purple.
Yep. It was fun.
So it's plugged in and always just plays like the opening scene of Super Mario World. And God, I want to play it so bad, but it says don't touch.
Okay, well, since we're talking about that restaurant, another interesting kind of different thing that they have is like on the TV, they just play these videos of somebody walking around Tokyo or like
just different areas in Japan.
Yeah. And so that's kind of
just streaming.
It takes you back, or like if you've never been, you're like, "Oh, interesting. I'm in Japan." So, I don't know if we should be telling people all our favorite spots, but here we are.
Yeah, go check them out. I want them to stay open and flourish
because that's true.
There is ramen just like popped off. I mean, there's so many different ramen places.
I know we've been to other ramen places in Beaverton too.
Okay, if we're throwing out like different culture, so there is in downtown Beaverton, but north of Farmington, so on the dangerous side of the road. Or, well, I mean, it's not dangerous.
What?
You have to cross. You have to cross a 4-lane highway to get to the other part.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so there is recently New York Times released like their list of like I think it was like 27 best pizza places in the U.S. And this tiny nondescript pizza place that started out just hawking their pizzas at farmers markets and now has a brick and mortar location that was listed in there. And I think it was the only one in the Portland Metro to be listed. Blew my mind.
Right. And we're like, in Beaverton?
Oh my God. But we had already gone multiple times by that point. So I was like, whoa. But it's Hapa Pizza, which Hapa is a term for people with like, Pacific Islander Asian roots. But they do, your traditional like long fermented, wood-fired like pizza dough, like Neapolitan style. But the toppings are all Asian and like Islander inspired, so you can get like
right, like a masamam curry inspired pizza, or like I almost feel like they had like a pho or something.
A pho and a banh mi. We had a Penang.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was very inspired and fun, and I think you could get quote unquote normal pizza also.
Oh, don't you dare say normal pizza. It was so good.
If you don't feel as inspired.
Well, I feel like it would lend itself more to like Indian food in my mind, like something with like naan bread. I mean, because obviously like bread isn't as much of a staple as rice in terms of like your starch. Mm-hmm. It works. I mean, the flavors are really good, but it is like fun to be like having a pizza and it's got like daikon, I don't know how you pronounce that, and like shredded carrots, or one that has like green beans on it because it's a Penang curry pizza.
Yeah. So I think just, checking that out is worth it. But I mean, even just feeling inspired by that of like, it's like, oh, I knew this dish is supposed to be like this. And it's like, well, what if we try it this way? And like, we're going to remix this dish.
I mean, isn't that like a beautiful analogy for Beaverton being like a melting pot of like different cultures like coming together in this area?
Yeah.
And so I'm sure somebody knows why, but I'm curious with like, the rapid rise of like the Silicon Forest and having things like Tektronix there. And that ultimately led to like other kind of techie industries and the balloon of Beaverton. But that brought in a lot of people. But also one of the biggest corporations in the world is based out of Beaverton. And we grew up like not having that information.
Yeah, didn't know. I think somebody casually, I might have found out about it like in 2010. Like somebody's like, oh, it was like, Nike's
in Beaverton?
I was like, wait. I was like, what do you mean they're in Beaverton? You think that maybe somebody has an office, not that they are based out of, which actually that movie that we saw,
Air,
that tells the story of, like how Nike really started. And
well, not how it started, but how it like popped off with like, gobbling up Michael Jordan.
Right.
And the Air Jordan line.
And so that was fun to watch. But yeah, they talk about being in Beaverton, Oregon.
It's so weird. But recently, like, so I also like searched like Nike's address, but it was weird because it said like they are near Beaverton. They're not in Beaverton. But I'm like, oh, girlfriend, you're off Jenkins. Like,
just like Cedar Hills. Be like, no, we're our own thing.
But it's weird. Cedar Hills is like really close to Nike. Anyway. But I mean, so yeah, the Nike campus, they have like, these like massive like mounds, so you can't see into it, but you see these like, extravagant like gateways that people will like, They have like their special Nike. I think they have the special Nike license plates that scans that like lets them get in, right? Is that like
Oh,
because you always see like the Nike license plates. I think that's what they do.
Okay, well, clearly we need somebody with an in. We have known people that have worked at Nike.
We've also known people who've gotten laid off at Nike. Hey.
I know, and I mean, I do think they get passes. I don't know. We've never been, so.
Well, we've never been on the campus properly, but the
We've driven by many times.
The campus has like it's maybe on like 286 acres, and maybe there's like 75 plus buildings. There's like all sorts of like equipment. There's facilities, obviously.
Hey, you just said it was one of the biggest corporations in the world.
I mean, it's just crazy to think that Nike was big. Like, I grew up, we would splurge on a pair of Nike shoes, and like no one was ever like, oh, BT Dubs. This is based like 60 miles away from where you were born.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. But also crazy, they won't hire me because I'm clearly unqualified.
Hey, listen up, Phil. We need a favor. Which actually, speaking of Phil, which I guess this isn't about Beaverton, but I met Phil Knight's like sister, and that was kind of crazy.
How was she?
She was pleasant. She was nice.
Oh, good. Did she have a pair of Nikes on?
Not that I recall.
Oh my god!
And I think when I met her, it was like, oh yeah, this is Phil Knight's sister, and I was like, do I know who Phil Knight is?
Oh
like, I mean,
God.
like it did not ring a bell until later.
This is the most classic Katie thing. You could meet the most. I don't know. I can't think of anything that we actually respect.
Like, and you
Barack
are?
Obama. You could meet Barack Obama, and you'd just give him shit.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, he would like be down for that, I'm sure. But right, I mean, you don't feel any sort of like hesitancy with like, oh, this person is of such a status, or they're related or know someone of such status. And I think that is such an impressive, beautiful thing about you, and I am quite envious of it.
You hear that? So, if you come talk to me, I'll humble you real quick.
I mean, it's a really great thing. Okay, so back to Nike. So we have been to the like company store, where Nike employees can go and they can get a 30% discount off of anything on the shelves. It's a lot, and it's not as cool as you'd think it would be.
I never thought it was going to be cool.
I
and
thought
you know
it might
what?
be cool. I thought the decor might be nice. It's kind of plain.
I think kind of looks like shit in there.
Damn.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of rough. I'm
Hear
like,
that, Phil?
let's make it look a little nicer. I don't know.
It has like strip mall vibes or like outlet mall vibes.
I don't know. It wasn't great. I don't need to go back.
Well, it's hard too because you go there and you know these people. I don't know if they work there, if they got like a special pass, but they're like FaceTiming people, or they're like live streaming themselves in there, and everyone's just kind of like belligerent, not like sharing space. It's like Black Friday.
I just feel like you're talking about this place that doesn't claim to be Beaverton. And
I
this
know.
is a Beaverton. This is not a Nike episode. We're
Nike,
Beaverton.
We're breaking up with you, Nike. But I will also say I blame Nike for me being disqualified in the second grade for a t-shirt design contest.
Prove it.
I cannot. Well, maybe I can. Anyway, we were given a piece of paper, and we were supposed to design a shirt for our second grade class. Everyone did like forests, or ooh, a slide, or wow, it's me and a puppy.
Was it in class, or did you take it home?
We had to do it in class.
Okay, and so
I
you
think-
just had Nike on the brain.
Well, yeah, I was apparently I succumbed hard to brands marketing. Clearly I wanted to go to Chuck E. Cheese. If there was a commercial, I was like, feed it to me. So in my little bubble, instead of doing anything of value or anything that was, indicative of this school that we went to, we're the East School Panthers. We are the best. That was like our theme song. I just did like 50 Nike swooshes over and over again. And I thought it was the coolest design. I was like, this is a shoe-in. People love Nike. People love the swoosh. My design is going to get picked. And so when my teacher was like, Jordan, I need to talk to you, I was like, all right. And she said, you can't use this. It's disqualified. We can't vote on it.
I mean, that's sad. Did you show anybody? Did anybody get to see it?
I think I did, like, we commiserated afterwards. Like, man, can you believe Mrs. Slipsager did that?
I would have voted for it.
You could not. We clearly learned about copyright infringement or, intellectual property that day.
I learned that as an adult.
Well,
I'm happy you're able to learn it as a second grader.
What do you mean I can't use Elsa? So, Beaverton. Those are definitely some memories. We also I'm going to take you on a trip in the Wayback Machine to some old Beaverton facts.
Oh,
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, so Beaverton, nestled in the Tualatin Valley. It's not in Tualatin. Tualatin is far south from Beaverton. Not that far south. Anyway, Tualatin, I have learned, according to the City of Beaverton website, kind of a nothing word. It was just a mistranslation or mishearing of an actual word that the native tribes there used. And that was like Chakipi. It's like Chakeipi, which is where like Fano Creek is in Beaverton. So it's in this natural wetland. And so this word that I just spelled out for you translates to place of the beaver. And then, okay.
Hey, I'm just listening.
Hey, I'm just insinuating
Hey.
place of the beaver. So they, at some point, the settlers, pioneers, colonizers,
Probably.
were like, did you say Tualatin? And I think they just ran with it.
Okay.
Great. So maybe at some point people were calling this area Beaver Dam. And then I think that's just evolved into Beaverton.
I feel like it's very English. It's like Beaverton.
I'm going to Beaverton.
Well, speaking of beavers, this morning my
Whoa, easy.
my family informed me that the apple tree that was on our property was about ready to come down because a beaver had been working on it, and so they went to pick the apples before the tree fell down, and the tree had fallen down.
Tree had fallen down.
The beaver got to it.
Good job, Beaver.
Anyway, beavers,
Hey.
Beaver State.
Hey, leave it to Beaver.
Mm.
I did watch a beaver cross the road once, right outside here. It was very bizarre to be like, oh, beaver. And I knew it was a beaver because of the flat tail. Wasn't a nutria.
See, Beaver State. We are Beaverton too.
Wow. Ton of beavers. So it was
little beaver.
So Beaverette.
Well, we do have
a
town called Beaver. That's
unincorporated.
okay. Anyway,
This is about Beaverton.
sorry.
Not Beaver.
No, stay on track.
Beaver no ton. So it was incorporated in 1893, meaning it was like, we're a city now. I don't know if the boundaries changed or if they were like, let's make it as goofy as possible. Hayuk. And the first mayor of Beaverton was I'm assuming, gentleman named Alonzo Cady, Cady, Alonzo Cady.
Okay. Yes.
He was a shoe merchant.
Great.
There's another mayor, a current mayor of Beaverton. It's not Alonzo. Alonzo's gone.
Yeah.
And so in the 1920s in Beaverton, we're skipping ahead by like 30 years.
Okay.
In the 1920s, Beaverton was home to a silent film studio called Premier Picture Productions
I like that.
that closed during the Great Depression.
Don't like that.
It produced 15 films.
Hmm.
Do you like that? Do you have an opinion?
Well, I think that seems like a nice amount.
And it would regularly feature locals as extras.
I think that's great. I think we should reopen it.
There was like a point of discussing this film studio, and I'm curious if there were others in the Portland metro or if Beaverton was like the only one. I'm also curious if the films were good.
I wonder if we could find them.
I would like to watch an old Beaverton film, and maybe they'll go to the bakery.
Maybe, because Beaverton has like a cool kind of downtown pedestrian area. It's like all these cool, hip restaurants and stuff. I feel like they could put a projector screen and they could we should pitch this to Beaverton. They should show these old films.
Hear that, Beaverton?
Okay.
Okay, well, since you're talking about the downtown, let's fast forward 100 years to the future. So the downtown Beaverton, it's definitely had a lot of like rapid development. There's a lot of like new buildings, new construction going on there. And so there are like these kind of high rises that have popped up, and they'll have businesses and like what have you on the ground floor taking up that space. And so one was a pizza place. Clearly, listeners, explorers, if you haven't gathered, Katie and I love a good pie.
Wow. I didn't think you were telling this story. Okay.
I'm going to tell this story.
Okay,
so it's a new pizza place in Beaverton. I'm not going to name names. I would if I remembered it. Anyway, thumbs down. This place.
Clearly, he has a bone to chew.
I do have a bone to chew.
A bone to chew.
He's got a bone to chew.
All right, come on, thumbs down.
Suck on that marrow. We go in, new pizza place. We've never been. We look at the menu. It's a vast menu, probably too big. It's a wood-fired pizza place. I associate that with quality. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
So probably 20 pies on the menu. I'm like reading it. The guy,
He's standing at the counter. You know where it's like there's like, oh, no pressure, but really there is pressure. He's
Doesn't
like
have like a jolly vibe to him.
no, he's like all right, let me know when you or what you guys
He means
want or
business.
whatever.
Yeah. It's not, oh, take your time, be chill. Anyway, so we were like, oh, well, I clearly don't have time to read this whole menu. So I was like, sir, do you have like any that you recommend? Any that you're like really proud of that, we should try?
Yeah, I was like, oh, we've never been here, but we're, we
And
like-
without skipping a beat, this dude just goes, I don't choose for children and I won't choose for you.
and we're like, oh. And
oh boy.
I think it didn't make us feel very good.
Didn't
and so,
give us the happies.
No, and I think we had an awakening. It was like, we don't have to give this man our money. We don't have to eat here. And that was an empowering moment to be like, you know what? We're good.
And then we just turned around and left and said, bye-bye. I mean, not in a rude way. I mean,
No.
I think that we're a lot energetically. Like, we come in at a 10 in a good way, I'd like to think.
I think in a pretty good way.
But I think if you're unprepared for it, you think it's insincere because I applied for a job at Willamette Week once, and the guy working the front desk just said, is this a bit? And I was like, this is the real deal, baby.
I was like, I didn't even know what a bit was.
They also
at
had,
that moment,
they
I
also
was
had
like,
jars full of nugs of weed on the counter. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe he was high. Maybe I should have been high. So yeah, we leave, which is empowering to be like, you know what? If someone's not, making it worth it to be like, oh, like I would appreciate your business, your hard-earned money for my mediocre pizza. So I'm proud of us. It's growth.
thanks, Beaverton.
Thank you, Beaverton.
Or can we move on from this story?
I would like to move on from the story, and I would like to end with one of my like favorite Beaverton stories, which again was a pivotal moment in our friendship. So you lived out in Beaverton.
I lived in Beaverton. Yes.
Not at this time.
No.
So
but
you had ties to Beaverton.
yeah, I have history with Beaverton. I lived there. I went to school there. I mean, I
You
definitely
went to high school in Beaverton?
No, but I went to a trade school there, and so I definitely was comfortable in Beaverton, and I found a dance studio for me to learn ballroom dancing in Beaverton, and so I was doing that weekly.
You'd come out every week. You drive from Tillamook to go.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like sometimes multiple times a week.
And so Explorers at Home, that is a good hour and a half drive.
One way.
Over
Yes.
Highway 6, which some people call Danger Mountain.
Yeah, we heard that like a year ago, and I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, everybody calls it Danger Mountain. So anyway.
I mean, it's a rough highway with no cell reception and people driving terribly to go to the beach or go home or go to the hospital. I don't know.
Okay, so one evening when I am getting ready to go to my dance class.
I want to put a pin in this. So
okay.
go to these dance classes. How long of a time are we talking about? Like, did you do months, years?
I think only months. I mean, maybe a year. I don't know. The brain's not sure. For some undetermined amount of time.
So did you have a good time doing it?
Yeah, I loved it. I think I really enjoyed learning all the different styles. Like when I went in initially, so it was like, oh, how do I get involved, right? And they're like, oh,
How do I dance?
we'll sign you up right now. And they were curious what I wanted to learn. Because I think a lot of people want to learn ballroom dance because maybe they're going to learn something for their wedding or...
But you went in just as a solo female, right? You didn't have a partner with you.
No partner. Yeah, I just wanted to learn it. And so it was like, oh, what style are you interested in? And, like maybe somebody wanted to learn the salsa or cha-cha.
Who wants to learn the cha-cha?
Or the foxtrot or, all the different styles.
Dancing the foxtrot. Katie.
That's right.
Anyway.
And so I said I wanted to learn it all. And so then I was paired up with this guy named Aaron. And yeah, so which I feel like my one-on-one with him was the best. I loved it. And then they wanted me to do like a group lesson where you learn the dance with like a bunch of people. And then they even hosted a party. And so it was just...
What does a party mean for like a dance?
I feel like the party thing stressed me out. I mean, I learned learned way too much about the other people that were dancing there. You know, it's like I'm like unsubscribe. I don't want to be in the drama. You know, I think somebody was having an affair with somebody else, and like, I mean, just crazy stuff that you're like, I don't want to know.
So
Then I was like, don't dance with me.
Dance party, it's like mingling, but then people can dance?
Yeah, so it's social dancing. So it's like, you know, they play music and it's like, okay, well, this song is clearly, you know, foxtrot or like the waltz. And so the instructors would also be there, like all the different ones. And so they would just like dance with random people. And,
wow.
you know, and so then you would have that as the example of what was going on, but also they would, you know, help you. And I think just like they would encourage, I mean, it helps to get you out of your shell, right? You're like, okay, well, we're just dancing. And
I mean, I feel like I'm pretty uncomfortable and awkward in those group dance situations.
yeah, I mean, I think it is an uncomfortable thing. And I think it's something that used to be really common, right? It was just like social dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're like, we don't do that.
Don't
like,
make eye contact.
Right.
It's like chimpanzee rules.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bare your teeth.
Mm-hmm. And so I think it's just kind of like overcoming that. And so, yeah, that's what I was doing.
And so you were out there, you had done a dance lesson. I was also out there for my senior year of college because I was recently dumped. Not by you.
Not by me.
By another girl from your class. I have a type. What's up? What's up, class of 2007?
Yeah, Jordan likes an older woman.
Clearly.
I thought it was a good match because I thought you were both kind of sarcastic and...
Because you didn't know me very well.
I didn't know you very well, and I think now that I know you, I think not so much. But in that moment, I was like, yeah.
Well, maybe it was a good match in the moment. I was unsure of myself. Anyway, it got me to move to Portland. Portland properly.
Yeah.
Not Beaverton. So I was dumped. It was, I was a term into my senior year, so I moved in with my aunt who lives in a weird intersection of Beaverton, Tigard, and Portland. I think she's technically in... I have no idea. So it's one of those three. She's in a little trifecta. So I was living there. I was driving home from class, and I think you had called because you were checking up on me post breakup. This is like a month and a half after the breakup. I'm thriving. I'm having a great time in my classes that term. You know, I'm taking screenwriting. I'm taking a comedy class. I'm having a good time. Also, I've developed a sense of style. I'm now wearing flannels. I think I've just turned into a hipster. I think that's what happened.
This happened after you broke up.
Yes.
Oh,
because
that's
I think if it
interesting.
happened before, I think maybe she would have stuck it out.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I know. Because when I was across the street from where we were living in Portland, there was a little shop, and I went in. I was never a hat guy, but I was like hat curious. I was like, oh, maybe I should wear a hat. Because I had a friend, clearly wasn't a great friend. I wore a hat once, and he just went, oh, you look ugly.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I have a good picker.
Yeah. Well, so then did somebody recommend the hat? So you went in looking for a beanie or no?
No, I went in, I looked down, I was like, what about this? I like put it on, and I was like, whoa. It was like when Rapunzel puts the tiara on at the beginning of Tangled.
Yeah.
Same energy.
Okay.
So I put this gray beanie on. So I had it when we were dating, but I never wore it. It was like the secret. I was like, oh, I've got this beanie I bought.
Oh.
And I transitioned from wearing shorts to wearing jeans to like, make use of this, long malnourished body that I had at that point, showing off them legs.
Okay, so this is what happened. So you had you were like a month into this. So okay, yeah, because clearly you were oozing confidence, I think, when we met, which was like different for your vibe.
Wow. Well, it was weird for us to get together anyway, because we had reacquainted, obviously, 6 months prior to do the dunk tank together, where I kind of thought you were pretty cute. And then you wanted to meet up and ask like how I was doing post breakup. And I think because I had this like confidence boost, whether it was earned or not, I was like, yeah, let's get together. So it was after your dance class, but you still needed to get home to Tillamook, so you had to drive ahead of you. So we repeated the same hangout that we did 6 months prior, and we went to the Fred Meyer off 217 in Beaverton.
Iconic.
But you were you sick?
Apparently I was sick because what we ended up...
Why did you go to dance class if you were sick?
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's like reflecting on it, it's not great.
Hey, come here, Aaron. Teach me how to salsa.
We all learned a lot during COVID, right? Like stay home when you're sick. I mean, yeah, I was 18 or something, 19. I don't know how old I was.
You were in your
20.
20s.
Okay,
you were
well,
in your 20s.
I was old enough, but dumb enough to not
Old
stay.
enough, but dumb enough.
Anyway, whatever.
Sounds like a rap.
No, I'm doing it.
I'm
Okay.
old enough. I'm dumb enough.
Okay, but we're in Fred Meyer, and I'm like, I need to go buy some like tissue. So we buy some puffs.
Hey, shout out to Puffs. We're
And
not a Puffs family. But
No, I feel like we never buy puffs. Well, because you make me buy them at Costco.
hey, shout out to Costco. What's up, baby?
This is just an ad rag.
So
Anyway,
we get Puffs.
we buy puffs.
Maybe even plus with lotion for
Yes.
your aching nose.
So I am like sitting there blowing my nose. We sit outside the Starbucks.
why did we do that? Maybe they were closing the inside, and we were like, I guess we have to sit out here. That might
Maybe.
be.
Okay, that could be
I
it.
feel like I was like kind of an aloof person when I was like trying to have game with girls, but I feel like I wouldn't have made you sit outside and have a cold. It was February in Oregon.
Yeah, no, they must have been closing. So we got a coffee.
We didn't get one. We each got one. We didn't share.
Oh, excuse me. We
Yeah.
each got a coffee.
We went Dutch. I did not buy yours, or maybe did you? buy it?
I mean, I probably bought it.
No way I would have let you buy for me.
Oh, please. What are you talking
I'm
about?
a gentleman.
Oh my god.
Maybe I bought you a coffee. How cute.
There's no way.
No, there's no way.
Anyway, people, I bought. Anyway. So, yeah, I just feel like we were hanging out, and then I
Had a good time. I think I made you laugh. I think it was the first time where I actually felt like a friendship had been formed, whereas the initial like Starbucks one, it was kind of like, hey,
why'd you delete me from Facebook? I was like,
caught you in my trap.
Yep. Anyway. Yeah, Beaverton. So that was the beginning of maybe what would be our great friendship.
And then boom, we've been married 10 years. Hey. So I mean, that's another lesson too. Like if someone reaches out, reach back. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. Maybe that person's your future spouse. And
or
just
your future
ex.
God. All right.
Yeah, business partner. What were you going to say?
Who knows?
Lover.
Who knows?
Future one night stand.
It's just your future, whatever.
Yeah, a simple hello
mean-
can lead to a million things.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, Beaverton has a warm, special place
I feel
in
like-
both of our hearts for different reasons.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. But if you were gonna plan a trip to Beaverton, what would you tell people if they were gonna go? They only had a day.
If they were to go to the place of the beaver,
yes.
I'd have them break into the defunct Beaverton Bakery in its beautiful facade.
Somebody could be in there.
Like what? Lurking?
I mean, there could
Is
be
it
another
Chuck E. Cheese?
there could be another business in there.
I think there is.
See, you can't break in like that.
I could break in. I mean,
Oh
I'd get
my God.
arrested.
All
but
right,
I
let's
mean,
go
I could-
back. Let's okay.
Hopefully I get arrested. Hello, officer.
Wow.
So yeah, I would recommend people to go check out downtown Beaverton. And we didn't talk too much about the downtown south of Farmington, but it is very walkable, pedestrian friendly, cute murals. They've done a lot of really good work. There's like good coffee. There's good food. Other shops. I think there's like a costume shop over there you can check out if that's your thing.
Yeah, we used to buy our coffee from these coffee roasters there, and there's pretty good coffee.
I know.
I know.
Something happened. It's fine. You don't need to know about it. It was Katie saw something that she disagreed with and was like, I think I don't like this.
You know, it only takes a moment for someone to ruin your opinion of them a little bit, or like to taint it. And so I
Yeah.
was like, well, maybe we don't want to come back here. I'm not sure.
Your dollar's a vote, baby.
Anyway, that's right, and that's empowering.
So, I mean, yeah, I would just recommend people to check out the downtown. I mean, you've said there's like cool parks. I think Cooper Mountain has like a little wilderness area. I've never checked it out.
I've never checked it out. I think I also saw that.
Maybe you and I should go check it out. I mean, the Travel Oregon was like, ooh, trips to Beaverton, what to check out, and everything. It was like Washington Square, and I was like, that's not Beaverton. It was like, oh, the Oregon Zoo, and I was like, that's also not Beaverton.
What?
I was like, oh, wineries.
Wow.
Not Beaverton.
Wow, you guys.
So they weren't really repping Beaverton very well.
Man.
But also, I mean, I think going to Beaverton inherently means like you're going to go check out like businesses or eat or do those kinds of things because it is developed, it is suburbia, it's where people live.
And I feel like I kind of touched on it, but like not really. But like there is that pedestrian street that I think that they officially closed, and there's I mean, I feel like they tried to make it nice for families or whatever, just kind of like chilling, hanging out. I think that they had some sort of like play equipment.
That we played with our goddaughters and our couple best friend there. And there was like, an oversized Adirondack chair where you sit in it and you're like, I look like I'm a Thumbelina.
Yeah, they just have like some fun things. I think there is some nice energy happening, like buzzing around Beaverton. And I think it's just going to continue and keep growing.
I mean, because your cousins, they're sisters. I think they were messaging back and forth, and they're like, "Wait, Beaverton's cool now?"
It wasn't cool when they were there, right?
And I just think if I would encourage,
not as cool as it is now. Maybe it's always been cool.
I would just encourage people to go check out, any cuisine that's different than you've experienced before, because odds are it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
and even if it's not, then you have a new experience.
And a new story, and maybe you get a picture that looks like you're missing a tooth.
Wow.
Hey, what would you recommend for people?
I mean, pretty much what you said. I don't know that I have much to add in this moment. 'Cause I mean, yeah, I think we've talked a lot about food, and I think we could talk a lot more. I mean, like, we've had Burmese food there. I think we've had, like...
Delivered by a robot.
Yeah,
little R2-D2 wannabe.
Yeah, that was kind of a trip. We've had like, some barbecue in that area.
Barbecue? What an ethnic food.
No, but I mean to have...
I think it was Matt's Barbecue, which I think Guy Fieri was like, oh, it's like diner and drive. Check it out.
I mean, that was fine. But I mean, we've also had...
That was pretty good barbecue.
Was it Puerto Rican food or Costa Rican?
Puerto Rican.
Yeah, and I think just without us really seeking it out, I think we've had some pretty good... just like a variety of cuisine, and that is really fun. And also, I think don't judge a book by its cover. Like, I think sometimes some of the businesses can be unassuming, and you're like
Fudiyama,
right? Where you're like, I don't know about this, and I think just encouraging you to stay open and to give a place a chance.
Being curious for sure. Well, you've made me hungry. I feel like it's time to go to Beaverton for a snack and probably run some errands, and then I could lament the loss of Old Country Buffet, R.I.P.
I know you'll have to take me to the building. We can go check it out.
Have I pointed it out to you?
No.
Oh, I'll have to do that.
And then we could go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Wow. Go get some tickets.
To see that duct tape nose.
Hey, is Chuck here? I need to speak to him. Anyway... Explorers, thank you for taking this trip to Beaverton, Oregon with us, the 6th largest city. It's not the 2nd.
Not yet.
Katie, would you like to go someplace new and exciting next week? Maybe outside of Oregon?
Yeah, I thought we could go someplace that's pretty hot.
Like hot, like it's a cool hot place, or hot like, oh no, I wish I was in the water right now?
I think some people think it's a pretty cool hot place, and I think you and I thought, I think it's too hot, like temperature-wise, for us to be here.
And perhaps overwhelming.
Excited to talk about it.
Well, it's in Southeast Asia.
It's in Thailand.
It's Phuket!
Woo!
Which I love how Phuket is written, because if you just read it phonetically, it's Phuket. I've been spelling a lot this episode.
You have.
And if you read that, what sound does a PH make? Does it make poo? So anyway, Phuket, it's very funny. We'll be talking about that next week. So while you are listening to this, if you're listening to this in real time when it drops on Wednesday, August, I don't know, whatever day that is, 6th, we'll be at the Tillamook County Fair. So if you want to come hang out there, we'll come say hi. We'll
come say hi?
Yeah, we'll come say hi to you. We'll come to you.
Yeah, we're going to know that you're listening to this, and we're going to come say
Are you having a piranha pup right now while you listen to our voice?
Anyway, explorers, we'll see you next week.
It's been real.
Hey, baby girl, pass that chai. Hey, baby girl, give it to me.
You know what?
Okay,
you
I'm
can say
bend over.
please. You say please.
May you please hand me that? Oh, she's stretching out her arm.
This is as far as I can go.
Okay.
Come on. You burn your hand.
I am burning the tips, the pads of my fingertips. I'm very distracted by how much leg you're showing.
You got an itchy ear.